Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about updates on Oscar Piastri and Lewis Hamilton. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on X at James's Pit Lane, I'll leave a link in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. So let's start with Piastri, and as we know, during the Brazilian Grand Prix, Piastri was handed a 10-second time penalty. This came following a safety car restart. Basically, Piastri was in P4 but went for a move down the inside of Kimi Antonelli to try and take P2, and it was 3 wide going into turn 1 with Piastri on the inside, Antonelli in the middle and Charles Leclerc on the outside. But Piastri ended up making contact with Antonelli's car, who then went into Leclerc, and that took Leclerc out of the race, and Piastri ended up moving up into P2, but later on he was given a 10-second time penalty. Now, the stewards said that the McLaren driver was wholly responsible for the collision because Piastri wasn't fully alongside Antonelli, and noted that he also locked up in the process. However, McLaren team boss Andrea Stella reckons Piastri received a harsh penalty, with him saying, as quoted by motorsport.com, "In terms of the penalty, I would say that was definitely on the harsh side. Oscar, it's true we see a little lockup, but at the same time, he's able to maintain the trajectory, which is ultimately what counts. I think the responsibility should be shared with Kimi, because Kimi kind of knew that Oscar was on the inside and the collision probably could have been avoided. Perhaps Kimi was also worried of having Leclerc on the outside. A different situation, obviously. But I think the overall penalty is harsh for Oscar to be considered fully to blame for this incident. At the same time, now it's done. So I reiterate, the respect that we have for the stewards, we accept it. We move on." Now, according to the race, the guidelines say that the car on the inside doesn't need to be left space if they do not hold their front wheel at least level with the wing mirror of the car they are trying to overtake. And as you can see, Piastri wasn't fully alongside Antonelli, and if you apply things by the guidelines, then it is a penalty for Piastri. But the more I watch this instance, the more I think this should not have been a penalty for Piastri. I mean, with Antonelli, he's got a lot of space to the right hand side of him, between him and Leclerc, and I reckon that if Antonelli had used that space, he could have gone round the outside of Piastri and the two drivers would not have made contact, and for Leclerc, at worst, he would have just been squeezed off the track, and that would have been that. He would have rejoined, continued, and he would not have been out of the race. And on top of that, I think Piastri was well within his rights to go for the corner. I mean, before the braking zone, he was alongside Antonelli, so he wasn't exactly going anywhere. And on top of that, Piastri even tried to back out of the move on the inside because Antonelli braked later, then closed the space on the inside, turning into the corner more tightly than was necessary, given the space Leclerc was leaving on the outside. So yeah, in my opinion, this is a huge mitigating circumstance. So if you apply the guidelines to the letter, yes, it's a penalty for Piastri, but when you look at everything I've just said, I don't think it is a penalty for Piastri. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But let's move on to Lewis Hamilton, and as we know, he had a difficult time in Brazil in qualifying. He was knocked out early, didn't even make it to Q2, and then did not even finish the Grand Prix. Basically, at the start, his race was compromised at turn 1 after contact with Carlos Sainz. And then soon after that, Hamilton ran into the back of Franco Colapinto's Alpine at high speed, trying to overtake him, and suffered heavy damage to his front wing. And while this was replaced, there was damage to Hamilton's car, and he ended up retiring from the Grand Prix. Now, Hamilton did get a 5-second time penalty for the collision with Colapinto, and apparently Hamilton was not happy about this over the team radio when informed of his penalty, with Hamilton saying over the team radio, as quoted by Planet F1, "These guys are a joke, a complete joke." And apparently he felt that Colapinto had moved over on him and so clipped his wing, but the stewards did not agree, and as I say, he was given a 5-second time penalty. And Hamilton was also given a further punishment when the stewards released their verdict, with him getting 1 penalty point as well on his licence, which takes him to a total of 3 for the 12-month period. And the stewards said in their verdict, on lap 2, car 44 closed up behind car 43 in turn 15. During the approach, there was contact between the right front tyre of car 44 and the left rear tyre of car 43. While car 43 was able to continue without consequences, the front wing of car 44 sustained damage. The stewards determined that car 44 was wholly responsible for the incident. Although the contact was minor, the incident is classified as a collision since it resulted in mechanical damage to one of the cars. However, there are mitigating factors that justify a reduction of the standard 10-second time penalty to 5 seconds. The collision occurred as a low-speed differential, did not have immediate and obvious sporting consequence for the other car, and can be regarded as a relatively light contact. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care.